Often when I travel around the country and around the world, whether talking with some of the business school folks out at Purdue University some while ago, or University of Michigan, or out at UC Berkeley's Haas Business School, a lot of concerns are being raised about outsourcing of jobs to places like China and India and even parts of Latin America and the former Soviet Union and Eastern Bloc countries, where the rates are considerably cheaper. Well, on the one hand, there is cause for concern, and we shouldn't underestimate the power of China and India, for example. But on the other hand, I think it's going to provide us a lot of opportunity. If we look at projections right now, China is poised to overtake the U.S. by mid-century and become the largest economy in the world. And India is positioned to overtake Germany and become the third largest economy in the world behind the U.S. Unfortunately, hundreds of thousands, and in many cases millions of North American, European, Japanese, and other jobs have been outsourced and will continue to be outsourced to China and India. The reason for this is pretty evident when you look at some of the cost structure. India and China, their share of the global output in the entire global economy at one point was about 6%, and it's projected to be 45% of the entire global output by 2015. In fact, 1 out of every 3 people in the world is either Chinese or Indian. However, despite the fact that there are going to be a number of challenges, also think of it this way. Even though maybe hundreds of thousands of jobs could get outsourced, or millions, billions of new customers, roughly 2.5 billion people in China and India that are going to be providing us new customers and opportunities from which we can benefit. Over the past 10 years, China has had an outstanding growth record, 3-5 times faster than the United States, and India has grown at about 6%. China's got about 300,000 millionaires already, and when you look at the cell phone use, they've got 350 million people using cell phones. I mean, this is just dramatic, and it's amazing. Wouldn't one of us want to be one of these 300 million people that becomes the millionaire? I think there are going to be some great opportunities with Web 2.0, as we'll see, and some of those opportunities, many of the people listening to this particular video are going to be one of those millionaires, or perhaps working for some of those millionaires. Part of the reason why jobs are being outsourced, China can provide a lot of the manufacturing for 30 to 50% of the cost of what is required by American manufacturers. In some cases, that 30 to 50% below is the actual manufacturing cost, as opposed to the actual marked up sales price. So you can see why many American companies that don't have the latest technologies and some of the high-end value-add types of manufacturing are having a lot of those jobs shipped overseas. Also, when we look at China in terms of its engineers, it's not just low-tech, but China is beginning to take over more and more higher-end manufacturing jobs, primarily because they've got an enormous engineering base of 350,000 new engineers.